Welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, we're not doing it just one by one anymore. We got both the guys on the podcast, and we got both the co-hosts. So what are you guys saying?
I'm good, man. Good. Thanks for having us today.
You don't need to see. We're done saying that because this is our
This
podcast
is
together now.
It's a daily thing now, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to talk to you guys about something real quick and something that's been rumoring around the Raptors for a really long time. Especially in this little drought that they've had, rebounding has been a big concern for them, both on the offensive end and the defensive end. And with OG obviously out of the lineup for a bit now, and Pascal missing that game winner against Minnesota, the losses are piling up again. And a name that's been floating around is Andre Drummond. And as you guys know, probably by now, that the Cleveland Cavaliers have benched him and just sitting there. And it's just a matter of time till he gets moved, whether it's a buyout situation or a trade scenario. But what are your thoughts on Andre Drummond perhaps becoming a future Toronto Raptor?
You want to go first?
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was telling Ajit off camera, like I have mixed feelings about this. The reason why is, yeah, Drummond can get us boards. He is big. Like, he will be a huge upgrade from Aaron Baines. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, I just don't think he would fit our system right away. You know what I mean? I feel like it would take him time, right? So if we do a trade for him, right, we're taking on his massive ass contract, right, and then we're taking a risk of we're gonna taking a risk hoping that he'll be back, or he'll be signing back with us by the end of the contract. You know what I mean? Like, if you return back or not, that's a big risk, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like he's good and all, but I'm just don't know if he'll fit the mix quick enough.
Yeah. Okay. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what he said, but I feel like we'd have to give up too much, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to give up, like, we have to match the salary as well, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you look back into, like, it is possible. We could still do the trade. Because, like, last year, I mean, when he was on the Pistons, he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Pistons didn't trade that much. They only gave up a second-round pick, John Henson and Brandon Knight.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
true.
I mean, like, I feel like Masai can work something out with Cleveland and see, like, try to, like how Masai does his trades and stuff. He can find ways to right?
If there was a time to specifically rob the Pistons of a trade, it would have been last season, second half of the season. But like, I'm okay with getting Andre Drummond. The only thing is, in order to bring him in, he's on the final year of his contract, like Praveen said. But it is probably like around, I think, 25 million, around that.
Yeah, 28 or something. It's like crazy, something now.
It's some ridiculous number, between 28 million. And obviously we might have to give up a valuable player like Norman Powell or some of our depth right now. And that's not going to, even though it's fixing one of our issues with rebounding, is taking away from another category where we thrive a lot, right? And
fast pace, all that.
And
he can't shoot threes too, right?
Yeah,
he can. One thing I am happy seeing, if we do get him, is his free throw shooting is definitely improved. And he is averaging 18, 14, 3 assists, 2 blocks and 2 steals and a block. And for us, a lot of the talk has been either going for a big that we can upgrade over Aaron Baines, or we go small with the way Norman has started to play for us. We go Van Vliet, Lowry, Norman Powell, OG, and Siakam. And we just play that out and see if we can outrun other teams out the gym.
Like, I personally feel like that's not going to work. I mean, it is going to work out in some games. I feel like we're just going to be a mismatch at some point. They're just going to keep throwing it to the big men, right?
But, Praveen, I want to ask you. So, like, obviously, you want one of these guys to go back to the bench, but Norman Powell has kind of been struggling off the bench, and he's been like a lead starter for us every time he gets inserted into that starting lineup. So who do you think, or who would you want to see on the bench for some production for us if we do end up deciding to keep Norman Powell? Would you like to see like OG on the bench? I mean, DeAndre Bembry and Chris Boucher have been pretty solid coming off the bench, but just with the emergence of Norman Powell in the starting lineup and OG coming back, and he's our original force, our original small forward position player, right? So like, I just want to know from your end.
See, I'm a Norman Powell fan, but I think OG is much better defender than Norman Powell.
Mhm.
And I feel like OG is like the silent killer. You know what I mean? Like he'll be silent, but he'll put those big numbers, right?
Yeah.
I think I'll put OG over Norman Powell. Even though Norman Powell is better off the bench. I'm sorry, better in the starting lineup. But OG to me is a better asset.
Yeah, OG in the 8 games he missed, Norman Powell was averaging 21 points a game in that starting role, and off the bench he's only averaging about like 10. So, I mean, I don't know if I want to mess with that right now. Like as a fan.
It is. No, I agree. I agree with you. But like, look at our defense, right? When OG was gone, right? How good was our defense?
Well, that's the thing, because we didn't have. Well, Aaron Baines was starting for us most nice, and Chris Boucher obviously had that opportunity, but he's kind of too small to play at the 5.
Sure.
Usually on nights when we do go small, OG is the guy usually guarding that 5 spot, right? So
this is why we need Drummond, right? You gotta say this is why we need Drummond.
I mean, I would say Drummond is definitely someone we can bring in, but I would say since the season is pretty obvious we're not going to really win a championship, that we're probably going to get a bottom 5 to 8 seed this season in the playoffs, and I feel like we might even get exited. I mean, we might exit in the first round, possibly second if we can upset one of the teams. But for us, I feel like patience is key right now, and if we do want to go for Drummond, I feel like if it comes down to that like situation, we should wait till the off season where we can have a chance to sign him, where we don't lose any assets and we bring him in as a free agent, since we have a lot of cap space, since Giannis is obviously in Milwaukee for the next 5 years.
I was going to ask you a question. So what if a situation of a buyout? If a buyout happens, right? Say Cavs buy him out like tomorrow, right? What kind of situation does that put us in?
Well, that basically what it is. We could be one of the suitors, but in that situation, the Cleveland's going to pay out the rest of his contract, and he can pick and choose whatever team he wants to go to. And so obviously, if he wants to go to another team, he's going to want to go to a contender, probably, right? And in that situation, I see teams like the Clippers, Brooklyn, or Lakers, maybe even Boston.
Clippers don't need him, man. They were Walker. They solely Walker from us. Fuck them. Oh, sorry.
The Clippers, I know, but like, I mean, those teams, like, they're all gonna pay him like a minimum money, right? So any team would want to take him. He's still, I mean, 14 rebounds. That's a big thing, right?
That is. That's huge.
And
10 I'm hoping Aaron Baines,
Aaron Baines he's been playing, like, he has flashes of good nights and bad nights, obviously, but like,
but the consistency, man, that's the important to see, your consistency.
Yeah, and I think the Raptors, the disservice they did for Ibaka came back to bite him in the ass, because now look at us struggling with that position. Because we could have picked up players like Bobby Portis, Hassan Whiteside, DeMarcus Cousins, any of those guys that went for like a minimum amount of money, right?
Tristan Thompson, Tristan Thompson too.
Tristan Thompson, but I mean, he's beat our ass with Cleveland so many years. I don't even think he wants to. He's not even a Toronto man anymore. He's an
LA man, He's got
that dual citizenship, and he's gone. He doesn't even consider himself Toronto anymore.
He's Kardashian.
He's not. He reps the Kardashian side more than the Brampton side now.
But there's to go on with your Hassan Whiteside thing. I feel like we can pick him up too, right? Like, he's another big man we can go up.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to, they have like Sacramento also has Richard Holmes. Richard Holmes, sorry, and I mean, Matt Thomas is just sitting there on the bench. If we're not going to use him, we can throw him in with the second round pick to match a salary like Hassan Whiteside, just for the time being. I mean, he just against us. I think not against us, but he had a game recently. We had 26, 16, and 5 blocks.
Yeah, that was the last game.
Yeah, last game. So like he has flashes of this. Like, if he gets the time of day to play, and he's really enthusiastic for a team that actually is winning, I think he'll do his best. Because when Miami picked him up at the very beginning, when he went off like nonstop, getting like triple doubles with 10 blocks, like, he has a lot of potential. It's just that his motor isn't always there, and I feel like with an organization like Toronto, I feel like that's something we can bring out of him, and he could be a temporary fix for us, just for this season until we can figure something out moving forward for next season.
He's kind of like Drummond too, right? He
Yeah,
can't shoot the three, and he's a little bit off at the free throw line.
but the only thing is we don't have to pay him 28 million.
Yeah. That's the other side too.
Yeah.
We can get him for cheap.
Drummond's too expensive, yo.
I do. I mean, as a Raptors fan, I'm kind of on the fence with this. There are some goods and bads, but I feel like if you want to spend that money for Drummond for this season, I don't want to lose any of our main pieces, and it feels like Norman Powell is probably the one to go. And honestly, I'd probably spend that. I'd try to get the wish version of Drummond and Hassan Whiteside for so much less.
I feel like if Whiteside's on the right team, he'll be a better version than Drummond, right?
Yeah. And if it comes down to it, I mean, we take a chance on him. If it doesn't work out, whatever, we go small ball. We're doing that anyways, right?
Yeah.
But I know. I just wanted to run it by you guys and just like kind of get you guys on here quick just to kind of see what your thoughts were. I do want to kind of get into more details about this and like Kyle Lowry and all these trade scenarios we have coming, because the deadline is about 5 weeks away, I think, March 25th, 6th or 7th.
Pretty soon. It was pretty soon.
26, I think.
26, yeah. And it's like a couple weeks after the All-Star break. So I want to get a bunch of trade scenarios on the screen and to kind of get into depth with which ones are more fitting for us. But all in all, final words from both of you guys: yes or no to Andre Drummond on the Raptors this season?
For this season, no.
Not this season. Okay, you?
No. I just don't see the fit, man. I don't see the fit. Like, we have to give up so many pieces. Yeah, we have to give him a lot of money too.
But it's the money.
Yeah, money.
Bro, $28 million, I don't want to pay him half the season, $28 million just to like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, if you can buy him out and he comes through, yo, I'm all in.
Yeah, if through the buy, so if he comes through to us through the buyout market, then you're fine with it.
Yeah, 100%.
As long as it's not a trade.
Yeah. Or if you give them Aaron Baines, yo, I'm blessed, yo. I'm happy. Give them Aaron Baines. Give us Drummond, yo.
1 for 1, right?
Yeah, 1 for 1.
I don't think that's possible.
I know.
Salaries aren't gonna match. You're gonna have to send him like 20 Aaron Baines for
Yo, give them Aaron Baines and Tyler Johnson, yo. Boom. There you go. Win-win, yo.
Win-win. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for now. Appreciate both you guys, obviously, for coming on as soon as I get you guys on, and we'll be back for the post-game podcast for the game against Milwaukee.
All right, let's go Raptors.
Yo, and another thing too, if Brook Lopez somehow comes available.
Oh yeah.
Next topic.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
All right.